Alright guys, so what I have here is the video for polynomial inequalities. Again, these are the notes from 9/16/19. Okay, so again guys, just to reiterate a couple things here. What I'm looking for here, I'm going to go ahead and go through this, is an example where I'm greater than 0. Okay, and so remember from class, or there's 3 steps I'm going to take here to solve this polynomial inequality. And the first thing is to find some zeros. Okay. Second step will be to draw the number line. And I'm going to be putting those zeros into this number line. And the third step will be to pick test points, and I'm going to see if it makes this statement true. Okay, and so just to start off here, when I am greater than or equal to 0. So here I have a graph. Again, you won't be given a graph like on the exam or anything like that, but if I had a graph, I could tell when am I greater than 0. So I'm asking when am I, here what I'm really asking is when am I above the x-axis. Okay, when are my y values, my outputs, bigger than 0? So here I can see this part of the graph, this is where I'm greater than 0. Okay, and so I can see that at least when I get my x values, I will go from negative infinity all the way to, at this point, negative 6. Now I'm going to put a bracket here just because I see this equal to sign under here, and so that means that this is included, which makes sense because at negative 6 here, the y value is 0. Is the y value at least equal to 0 like it says here? Yes, it is. Okay, so and then from here, from negative 6 to 1, I'm below the x-axis, so all of these are negative numbers, so I am not greater than 0. Okay, and then from here, from 1 all the way to infinity, I am bigger than 0. So here I'm okay. This is part of my interval. But I'm going to show you again how to do this without the calculator. So first step, like we said here, is to find zeros. And I get them by taking each one of these factors and setting them equal to 0. So here x is equal to negative 6. And it's also equal to negative 1, which makes sense, right? Negative 6, negative 1, those are my zeros. Okay, so step 2 is to draw a number line. And I'm putting the zeros here, negative 6 and negative 1. Okay, so third step is to find test points, or to pick test points. And really what I'm trying to see is, where is this statement true? So I'm going to choose something over here, something smaller than negative 6. So negative 7 is smaller than negative 6, so I'm going to use that value. So all I'm going to do is plug in negative 7 into every time I see x here. So negative 7 plus 6, negative 7 plus 1, greater than or equal to 0. Now, I'm not really concerned with what values, like what this actual value is. What I really am concerned is this a positive or negative? So negative 7 plus 6, that will result in a negative number. Negative 7 plus 1, that will result in a negative number. And when I multiply two negative numbers, that turns it into a positive. So, is a positive number greater than 0? Yeah, it is. Okay, and that shouldn't be a surprise to all this. We saw that right here, it is greater than 0. Okay, so in this area right here, I should at least see that it is not equal to 0, or at least it doesn't, it's going to be smaller than 0, so it's not going to satisfy the condition. But let's go ahead and check. So I'm picking a point between negative 6 and negative 1, so negative 3 works. That's in between negative 6 and negative 1. So I'm going to do the same thing. So negative 3 plus 6 and negative 3 plus 1. So here, negative 3 plus 6 is going to result in a positive number. Negative 3 plus 1 will result in a negative number, and a positive times a negative will give me a negative number. So is a negative number bigger than 0? No, it is not. So this is not included within the range. Okay. And I have one more interval over here. So I'm going to choose something bigger than -0. Excuse me, -1. And so I'm going to pick 0. Okay, so 0, whenever you can pick the 0, go ahead and do so. Makes it easier to plug in. So here, 0 plus 6 and 0 plus 1 greater than or equal to 0. So this results in a positive number, positive number. Positive times positive is positive. So is a positive number greater than 0? Yeah, it is. So this satisfies the condition. And final answer here, guys, remember it should look like this at the end, is looking over here, these x values will go into all the way to -infinity, and I stop at -6. Now, because I am including zeros, okay, or I am including the value, that's why I'm going to put a bracket. Again, when I see this equal sign, that's when I put that. So here, -1 to infinity is the same thing I got from looking at the graph. Okay, so that is solving polynomial inequalities, and really the same concept carries over to the rational inequalities, and you'll see that in the next video.